Hey guys, happy Monday.
Yeah, happy Monday.
We're back, another week.
There's some progress happening.
There is big progress happening, I feel like.
Yeah.
I think we should start with your part in the progress.
Yes.
So, and let me just say this. We, with our separate approaches, we didn't really talk. We both just sort of approached it in our own ways.
Yes.
So for Reckless, so we just did a straight up donation to Black Lives Matter. I want to do like a shirt and donate all the proceeds to charity. Like I want to continue doing more, but the problem is I felt like I was waiting too long.
Yeah.
And like I didn't want to come out next week and be like, oh, by the way, we did a shirt. Like it just felt like the same advice I was giving. I think it was Anthony for Universal Music.
Yeah.
I should also take my own advice.
Yes.
So we threw out a donation, we made a statement, and then we're now working on shirts or those type of things.
Yes.
You came through with a really creative option. And I knew that you were working on something, but I didn't know what. And you just posted it. When did you post that?
Just this morning,
Okay,
Sunday morning.
So tell everyone what you're doing, because you have a really great approach.
So I was thinking about it similar to you. The last kind of like 2 weeks, I've been thinking about like, what can we do in this fight? Mm-hmm. And a lot of it kind of came from, what do we have resources for? What are we good at? And then, we obviously can donate money, and I think we are donating money, but that solves one problem right now. Mm-hmm. And I really think when I watched that video that I posted and group chat posted about systemic racism, which is something that I've been extremely aware of my entire life. Mm-hmm. And, when you educate yourself at all of how the country has been treating Black people since they got here, mm-hmm. we're never going to solve that problem with just saying, hey, let's fix the way police treat Black people, mm-hmm. or, fix those issues. And then, I was listening to the podcast on and recommended from D. Ray McKesson and Bill Simmons, and hearing him talk about all the police issues, that I can't participate in that, right? I can give to the cause, but I am not well equipped to have that fight.
Yeah, that's more of like a voting thing, I think.
Yeah, that's a voting thing. And
then that's actually reaching out to your local municipalities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because that actually has had change. Pittsburgh already enacted all 8.
Yeah.
So it's
great.
working in its own way.
Yeah. And I think the real challenge is how do we make a longer term impact on society? Yep. So I was like, what do we have? We have a business. We do shipping. We do fulfillment. We have a photo studio. We have customer service. We have office. We have all these talented people. I'm like, why don't we help create the next great Black designer? Mm-hmm. So came up with a program called Next Up. We'll pick one Black designer every single year, and we will, for the entirety of that year, we'll give them free office space, free warehouse, free customer service, free pick and pack fulfillment, access to our rates, access to our factories, vendors, pricing, and essentially incubate them, teach them what we know, and pass them off into the world, mm-hmm. prepared to actually go run a business. Because that person can now create a business, employ people, and actually change their community. Some of the things we've always done at Young and Reckless, 5-4, is always hire people that we know aren't going to get hired other places, mm-hmm. but we've changed their life effectively because they've now gotten on the right path. Mm-hmm. And we're in a privileged situation. We might as well really kind of use our influence and power, because I think donating money is important right this second, but it doesn't solve. So I read a staggering stat today. Mm-hmm. Income inequality among white families and Black families. Average white family has $175,000 of net worth. Mm-hmm. Average Black family has $17,000 of net worth. Mm-hmm. Are white people 10 times smarter, hardworking, all of that stuff than a Black person? No, that's not the case at all. But the system was built for them to succeed and Black people to not. Yep. So to me, opportunity is the ultimate equalizer. We were all fortunate to get opportunities to end up where we are today. Yep. So if we can pay it forward, give people opportunity, and then they'll go on and pay it forward, and we'll create this ecosystem of all diverse groups of people succeeding in our industry. And I think fashion, for at the top of fashion at least, is not very diverse still.
Yeah.
You know, like with the exception of people like Virgil and Jerry Lorenzo, really the Kanye tree.
Yeah.
It's not. Like there are, you know, considering, let's be honest, all of fashion is men's fashion for sure. I don't know, follow women's fashion close enough, is all inspired by Black culture.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing happening.
Oh, especially right now.
Yeah.
I mean, right now more than ever in history.
Yes. And
Everything is inspired by Black culture.
exactly. And so if that's the case, then why aren't there more designers? Why aren't there more brands?
Yep.
And if we can go help create the next Off-White and the next, you know, Fear of God, then why not? Like let's play our part in that.
And the power of an incubator is, it's so hard to explain how much advice and you're just starting at second or third base if you are part of incubator.
Yep.
So here are companies that have started in tech incubators: Instagram, Dropbox, Airbnb, Coinbase, like some of the biggest companies in the world.
Yep.
They were in tech incubators,
Yep.
right? And there's no reason that, you know, a fashion incubator can't create the next big designer. Not
Yep.
to say we're the smartest people in the world, but we're going to give everyone the resources, and
Yep.
it's on the founder to thrive.
Yeah, I think that's the hardest part. I think if you really track back, I have no idea the true numbers, but if you track back successful people, companies, whatever, I bet a lot of them, the one place that probably is disproportionately had advantage was either family that was able to point you in the right direction, family money, early incubator type thing. There was someone that helped you get over that hump of the things like negotiating rates and fulfillment and all that stuff that can take you 10 years just to get right.
Yep.
And if you are in any way, gosh, what's the word? Discriminated against or anything like that, you're screwed.
Yeah.
It's like it'll take you 20 years.
20 years, exactly.
So I think if you track back, I think a lot of that probably comes from an incubator type situation.
Exactly. And I think really what I've learned is, you know, when we got our first investor, that's when I really understood the apparel business, because they were apparel manufacturers, and our whole business changed instantly. Like overnight, our business changed, because now I knew how to make jeans. I knew how much they were supposed to cost. You know, you don't know anything when you're starting a business. So I'm excited about what we're doing. The first, it's on my Instagram, on Menlo Club Instagram. The first thing we're doing is put your email to get notified of when the application will be ready. We're hoping it'll be ready by June 22nd. And then it'll probably take a month to pick somebody, and then we'll kick it off.
You gotta have the person you pick on group chat.
Absolutely. Yeah. I want to I want them to share their journey and see. But I think I wanted to do something that actually had a long-lasting impact on what's happening right now. Because systemic racism is only going to be solved by systemic solutions.
Yep.
And it's not going to be just... That's why when I hear a guy like D-Ray talk, I was like, okay, let him... He's the leader of that movement. I can't...
Yep.
I'll give him money, but
Yeah.
I can't... I'm not going to...
I mean, that's the problem, right? It's a multifaceted problem. There's so many things we need to attack.
Yeah.
It's not... Police brutality is one aspect of
Yeah.
it. Solving structural problems like
Income inequality.
incubation of Black entrepreneurs, that's another way to solve it. So it needs to be like 10 different angles.
Yeah.
And I also think that when you look back at the truth, this is the part that's like deeper that most people don't understand, is really what systemic racism means is a lack of opportunity. So when you've had a lack of opportunity for essentially all of American history, in order to repair that or rehabilitate that, you have to over exaggerate the opportunity to get people back on, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's where people miss.
Yep.
It's like, okay, so what do we do? Like, let's just fix the police force. Got it. But it's so much deeper with just the lack of opportunity that has caused people to live in ghettos and their fathers to be in jail and all of these things where you just have no chance.
Yeah, it's just it's a rigged system for them.
Yep.
So yeah, I agree. I mean, like I'm all for it. This is our small part in the effort. But you know, I hope other brands, other industries, other businesses also take part in kind of pushing. Even Taylor's mentoring people now. Never thought I'd see the day where Taylor would, you know, be a mentor.
Be generous.
Just kidding. Actually, Taylor's a very generous person with his time. He's always been.
We give him a lot of shit, but he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree. And I think that I hope that just in general you see, I really feel like the subconscious just awareness is changing.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's the biggest part of this that's hard to like quantify. But you see all of these, look, for better or for worse, all these companies, dolls kill, all these companies are just getting attacked for, it's like, hey, you've made maybe racist remarks. You've just treated people like shit. Enough is enough.
Yeah.
Now, my opinion is, I think we got to stay focused on the issues that matter and then maybe get into that.
Yeah.
But whatever, not my choice.
Yeah.
But I do think that what's going to happen is it's going to just change, like I said, the subconscious. You're just not going to, that shit isn't going to fly as much as it did at least.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Okay, great. Well, good job. Can't wait to just sort of stay up to date on it and keep the listeners up to date on it and have the person that you choose on the show.
Yeah, it's exciting. There was even I think the best comment was a guy was like, "Can I be the Pete for that guy?"
Wow, that's good. Let's get in early.
I think I'm always an option
Pete.
here. I can, do two jobs.
Looks like having to Pete, man. He's drunk during the days now. He has a fresh haircut.
Yeah.
Traveling.
I'm loose. Okay. Yeah. So if you have the opportunity to work for that guy, go places.
Okay. Next up is I know that we're in the mode of like burn everything down, and I'm all for that. And I'm all for the like nothing's good enough. Fucking get on your knees and apologize.
Yeah.
That being said, I personally am pretty happy so far with the reaction from Drew Brees and the statement from the NFL.
I'm blown away.
Blown away.
I'm blown away. The Drew Brees apology, it should have been what he should have said the first time, but he didn't.
Yep.
And I think it was a good wake-up call, not only to him, but to the entire universe.
Yeah.
And that apology, if you haven't seen it, read it. It says to President Trump. So he's addressing the person in charge.
So it's two apologies.
Yeah.
So the timeline of events is he said what he said.
Yeah.
He posted the Instagram, which we all thought was insufficient.
Yeah.
And then Donald Trump tweeted, Drew Brees should have never apologized. Like, don't back down, protect our flag, and said some other shit. And then Drew Brees effectively went against President Trump and said to President Trump, this is why you're wrong.
Yeah.
That takes balls.
Pretty damn good, man. There's almost nothing he could have done where I would have said, damn, that's pretty good. And he did it.
And I read that. And then obviously you go to the comments and...
Oh, don't go there.
Well, here's the thing. Obviously, there's a lot of people that said, fuck Drew Brees, but I saw a lot of New Orleans people, black people, that said, okay, now you're understanding.
Yep.
And I think people, they just, like everyone knows what happened in the past, okay? A lot of people made mistakes, and a lot of people need to be called out for all the mistakes they made. But if this guy's willing to use his power, and why this matters, and I made a comment on Twitter about this, Roger Goodell and Drew Brees are a pretty good example of most of America.
Yes.
And
when you talk about just the problem of not understanding that this even exists.
Exactly. And then for them, Drew Brees first to do what he did, realize he was wrong, got called out. And for Drew Brees, this was a legacy thing, right? This guy is a hero, like a straight up American hero. He's done a lot for the community in New Orleans, but he fucked up. And he was like, he has kids. He's a religious guy. He's sitting probably thinking to himself.
He's overcome adversity in his own career to go on and win a Super Bowl. And maybe I'm just the hopeless optimist. Like, I don't think he was thinking about this more than he actually finally understood the problem.
Yeah, I think fundamentally, though, if I could say that there's one goal of this whole thing, it's exactly that.
Yeah.
It's just realize that it's real.
Yeah.
If you do that, and now part of like, look, you can picture the Drew Brees caricature. It's like the white dude that's successful, that was raised on the frickin' farm, that our flag means more than anything, and don't come to me with anything else.
Yep.
If you can get that person to understand that treating everyone in this country fairly is the only reason that makes that flag something you should honor, you now you have those guys fighting for you. Now you can really solve the problem.
Yeah.
And I think that that's an example, because I honestly do. Look, I'm the most cynical. Like, I will rip it apart if I think it deserves to rip apart. I think he gets it.
I think he had a realization.
I
don't think it's phony.
I don't.
Yeah.
And I think that everyone has to be careful attacking him. Like, there has to be a good enough.
The reason why I think it is real, so Michael Thomas, who is a star receiver, retweeted the post and said, my guy, like,
Is he the one who spoke out?
Yeah, he's the one who originally spoke out. And let me tell you, in this climate, Michael Thomas and Drew Brees had a conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if Michael Thomas wasn't convinced this was sincere, he would not be standing up for him right now, given the way he reacted originally.
Yeah.
And I don't think anyone gives a fuck. I don't think Michael Thomas cares about like, okay, this is a PR move. Like, we gotta look peaceful. Like, I think the fact that he instantly spoke out so loud and clear against him was like, he doesn't care anymore. It's just like, if you're not doing what's right, I'm not with you.
Yeah.
He obviously was convinced.
Yes.
And I just think, I don't know, man. I do think, of course, there's always going to be people on all sides, but when somebody does get it, we also need to like
bring them back to be an ally.
Yeah,
and I've
can't cancel forever. That shit is not it. That's not how you.
Well, because then you alienate them, and then they'll revert back to their old behaviors.
Yeah.
And so when someone actually accepts it and realizes that they were wrong and is willing to change, you got to accept them back.
Yeah.
Otherwise, because at the end of the day, we have to be united on this topic. Otherwise, this is gonna be a nightmare.
Yeah, my biggest fear through a movement that obviously we all support strongly is that it doubles down the bubble.
Yeah.
And then makes the other side just 10 times
You
worse.
just get civil war.
It's basically like what happened. Like Barack Obama created Donald Trump.
Yeah.
We all love Barack Obama.
Yeah.
But then you had this large portion of the country that was like, I'm never having another black president.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they went the extreme opposite way, a racist guy that just were like, cool, this guy's better.
And I'll be honest, what's similar to what I just said, I didn't realize that part of America was that big.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I needed to be shown.
Yeah.
And I get it now, so I can stop. But like, I thought like people that were that hateful and racist were like way
Pockets,
smaller.
yeah.
They elected a president. There's so many of them.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying every Trump voter is a racist, but you get the freaking point.
Yeah.
But I just think even the same way that we said, like, you may not be a celebrity, but you do have influence over 2, 3, 7 people. You also, I think, need to, when those people start to come around, like embrace that and support that and realize that takes time and whatever. Don't like,
that's progress.
Yeah, now you fucking idiot, Uncle Rick.
Yeah.
You're no shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't do that.
Yeah. And because I think.
Yeah, if people are willing to be reformed, we have to allow it.
And America loves the comeback.
And but we also talk about calling out the friends, calling out the family members. And sure, if their baseline is they don't get it, but then they do get it, you have to let them back in.
Yeah, of course. And I think the best example, and to me, the NFL accepting this is the absolute turning point. So if let's call the NBA canceling their season was the realization for the world to realize Corona was serious. Roger Goodell's video, where he actually says the word Black Lives Matter, admits as he was wrong, admit that the players that were protesting for the right reason. He literally did the video that, like, honestly, I think everyone's been waiting for from a very, very powerful person. And the most interesting thing about this, I truly believe that Drew Brees' apology and Roger Goodell's video is changing a lot of people's mind because this is a part of America that doesn't want to accept that there's a problem. Now, one of the kings of that, which is Roger Goodell, who is effectively paid by all the NFL owners, and we know where most of them
it's 32 billionaire. 31 are white.
Yeah.
There's one Pakistani owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And
wait, those are the real stats?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So you know who his paycheck is coming from.
Yeah.
And the real hero in this story, and I'm telling you, these kids, whoever they are, NFL social media team are fucking heroes. So the backstory of this situation is the NFL, whoever works on the social media team, worked with, did you see the video of like Odell and Patrick Mahomes, all the famous black players? They did a video. They called out that, there's NFL has problems. We are the NFL. That was not approved by the NFL.
Yes.
These kids just did it and released it into the wild.
Yep.
Like the players released it. That forced Goodell's hand.
Yep. Because he repeated what they said.
Yes.
They said, we want to hear you say.
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter, blah, blah, blah. And he repeated that.
Yeah. And so apparently, like, if you think about it, would Roger Goodell have done that if his own organization pretty much turned on him and said, "You're fucking speaking up."
Yeah, because this is different than the Kaepernick protest, where there was obviously a percentage of the NFL that felt aligned with him and they were okay with standing up. But it was really small.
Yeah.
This is, he knows the tide's turned.
It's turned. And that's what matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what matters is if so who cares if Roger Goodell went home that night and said, this shit's stupid?
Yeah.
Who cares? The point is, Roger Goodell got overwhelmed. He knows that his old stance will no longer work.
Because he's the poster boy of what was wrong with everything that's going on.
Yeah, so I don't care. Like, this is the thing. Let that generation just age out and get old and pass away.
Yeah.
But as long as they know that publicly you cannot act that way anymore, good. It's progress.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, you can't hire that way. You can't treat your players or your staff or anyone that way. If you no longer think you can get away with it or ignore it, that's the start. We see where the new generation stands. We're fine.
Yeah.
The new generation, the people that are out there marching,
Yes.
they believe in equality.
100%. And I think that's why, like, those kids, I mean, I'm telling you, I would love to look at, like, this weekend felt better. Like, it felt, I know a lot of people are still frustrated, but like seeing those two figures kind of accept that this is happening, then, you know, I just feel like this is the right direction, because we're not trying to convince people that live in LA and New York and we're trying to convince people that live in Alabama and Florida and Georgia, and they love the NFL, love it. And Roger Goodell is the commissioner of the NFL. He is probably one of the more influential figures in our country.
Yeah, so if the owners didn't like what Roger Goodell said, they can fire him.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he talked to the owners and got permission. He reports to the owners. He doesn't report to the players.
Yeah.
So I'm curious if he even went to the owners and say, I'm about to do
No,
this.
I guarantee
Or he
you
just did
Not.
it.
He looked a little scared in that. Like, he looked a little like, there's 31 billionaires there who are fucking watching this. Yeah, I don't think he did. I think he was scared, but look, it would take so much balls to fire him after that.
If you fire him, then you're just admitting.
So
and
he
then
played the chess move. It's like, what are you going to do, fire me right now?
Yeah.
No chance. Get it out quick.
Yeah.
Change the fucking conversation.
Yeah, it is big. I like that. To me, was the most I think it was Friday evening.
I don't remember when.
Yeah,
but
but
It was big. It felt big.
Yeah.
Because it just, and I know, once again, like, all the comments were, bring Cap back. What about what you did in Cap? Blah, blah. I get it, man. I totally get it. And it's all
he
fucked
was the
up.
martyr.
That's what I keep telling people. I'm like, well, okay, Colin Kaepernick is a hero. He's rich. He doesn't need help.
Yep.
Like, he made how much money in his career? Like $70 million.
Yeah, he made a lot of money.
He was doing Super Bowl commercials, and
he donated $1 million right when this was all going on. So the guy clearly has a lot of money.
I obviously feel bad for him that his career didn't go on. He's going to be considered a god for the rest of his life.
Yep.
He started this whole movement. Why would he want to go play football?
I don't even truly believe he does. I think the way he sabotaged those tryouts.
He sabotaged his own tryout.
I think he likes being the martyr more. I mean, I'm sorry if I'm completely wrong.
Yeah, and I don't want. Yeah,
I'm not trying to
exactly.
play
But
that,
I'm okay with him. He's the hero. He won. Like, go be a rich guy and keep making impact off the field. I just don't know why everyone's like, bring Cap back. I don't think that's productive either.
Yeah, because people.
No, it's
just
time to
like
move on. It's time to move on from that, because I don't think he, like you said, he wants to be back.
Yeah.
I know he stays in shape and he's still, but like, if he really wanted to be back, that tryout would have been done differently.
Yeah.
And imagine if he does come back and he just flops.
That would be devastating.
Yeah, that would ruin.
Well, that's part of the problem.
A good portion of it.
I'm not the football expert of the group, but it seems like that's pretty likely. Like, it seems like he could come back and sit on a bench.
Yeah,
Right.
being out of the
that's not
league
what
for
you
3
want.
years, the likelihood of you having success are very low.
Yeah,
Very
you don't
low.
want that.
People are like, he could be a third string QB. It's like, what is the point?
Why would you wanna do
you
that?
know how much time it takes to be a professional athlete? Like, it practices all day, every day. Like, why would you do that
He's
for a third string quarterback?
immortalized for this movement.
Yeah. I'm sure Nike pays him a
Oh,
crap
yeah.
load of money. Like,
But I think the point is I don't know, once again, probably way too early for this message, and hopefully I don't get ripped up in my DMs for this, but like, there has to be some level of celebrating the progress when this is all working.
Yeah.
As it's working, celebrate the wins and move on to the next one. Like, I agree. The fact that Breonna Taylor, still no one's been arrested. I think it's fucking insane. I think the fact that video now that's going viral where they pushed that old dude down and bounced his head off the sidewalk and they suspended 2 officers. And because they suspended 2 officers, the rest of the squad resigned. That's how serious all of these idiots are.
Yeah.
That somehow that was justified.
Yeah.
So yes, there's a lot to fight. But as you gain victories and get people on your side, embrace them and celebrate.
Yeah.
That's the only way you're going to
because
really...
a guy like, sorry to interrupt, but a guy like Roger Goodell can go sit down with the police commissioner, and guess what? The fucking police commissioner.
I mean, he's God to the police commissioner.
Yeah.
Every city, it's Roger fucking Goodell.
Roger Goodell pulls up to Buffalo and goes, "We're gonna have to change some rules here."
Oh, it's changed 5 minutes before he gets there.
Here's $2 tickets.
Yeah.
Now change these rules.
Yeah, it changed.
If the
Instantly
NFL
changed.
actually got involved, they would have so much impact. Because if now when you see the most powerful people in our country embrace change, you'll be forced to. The cop loves the Bills. He wants, he wants to. He's going to emulate what his leadership tells him.
Do you know the biggest victory of the weekend? I know it sounds trivial, but Donald Trump did not go after Breeze after that. I was expecting I always knew Tom Brady was better. He has 6 Super Bowls to your 1.
Yeah.
I was expecting Peyton Manning was always better than you. Why didn't he do that?
Because that's why it's a fucking win. Because even Donald Trump knows, not the battle I won. You know what I mean? He knows.
You don't want to go against football.
You can get him. It's the same way he didn't go against Eminem. Like he chooses his battles, and he read that, and he's like, "Damn it! Like I'm not gonna." That's
he doesn't
one I
go
could lose.
against white heroes.
No, and that's what Drew Brees is.
And especially when they have when they share a fan base.
Yeah.
Because if that person wins, you lost. I mean, he cares about his base more than literally anything.
Yeah.
Like he would explode the world in 2 years as long as he keeps his base.
Yeah.
If you try to battle for your base and then you got Roger Goodell, no chance. You're not taking that battle.
Yep.
Okay. Well, good shit. I mean, I don't know. I think that's a bigger moment than a lot of people realize.
Yeah.
And then what about you? We talked about a little bit about the protests. Protests, I mean, they've been still going all weekend.
Yep.
There's another one today in Hollywood. I think once again, like the main thing, also we saw our friend Michael B. Jordan has become very outspoken and at the protests. And I think he first showed up to the protest on Rodeo and was there with Sterling. And he spoke at a protest the other day and said that he talked about Fruitvale Station and filming that because that was about one of these cases. And he also said that not only does he have an inclusion writer, but he's also going to start to look at...
Explain what an inclusion writer is.
So inclusion writer, you might have to clarify for me, is just saying that on your sets with your production company, you will have a certain amount of all groups. Right. Everyone will be equally represented. And so with his production company, every set, everything he does has that. Now he's going to include just taking a look at police, at where his brand partners are spending money on police, hiring private security as opposed to police for his events, stuff like that, and really trying to make a change there. Which I think, to be honest, in the beginning, I think those sort of statements feel controversial. I don't think that they are at all. Yeah. I think that, look, once again, could be controversial, maybe not for our audience. The videos that we're getting of the way police are handling all people at these protests is fucking insane.
I mean, the videos of white on white brutality.
Oh my gosh, they've lost even who they thought their enemy was. Now you're fighting
everybody.
You're shooting little white girls in the face with rubber bullets.
Yeah.
You think you're gonna win that battle?
No way. Like that biker guy that tried to beat up the little girls. I mean,
and he was a police officer.
Well, is that confirmed?
That's what everyone said.
That's what everyone's saying. But it's just...
Who knows? But
there's videos of I don't know, man. It gets a little into conspiracy land, but not really. Of police sending in rioters to break windows and instigate.
Yeah.
There's pretty credible videos on social media.
Yeah.
Or cops with a truck bed full of bricks that they're unloading, in Austin before the protest.
Why is that?
Yeah.
But, the biggest change, which I think is completely obvious if you look at any social media, is last week there was genuine fear from a percentage of the population. Mm-hmm. 1 week later, that fear is gone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anyone is afraid anymore.
So I went on...
and I don't think the fear was ever warranted because I was there on the first day.
Yeah.
Afraid, you mean of protesters and riots?
Yeah, turning into violence or whatever.
I went to...
Middle America is.
Yeah.
Middle America that watches it on the news, because the news only shows riots and whatever, they think every major city is still like, it's scary to, I'll tell you from talking to my mom yesterday, like she thinks me just living in LA is very dangerous right now.
Yeah.
Because you just don't know.
Right.
Because it's interesting you say that. So I hit, me and a few folks got on bikes and hit 4 protests.
Very important folks. I don't think he wants to say who they were.
Yeah, very. I was impressed.
Let me just say, had the protesters known that these people were among them.
Yeah, it would have been nuts.
Yeah.
It would have been absolutely nuts. And we were on, thankfully, pedal assist bikes because it was hot, biking around.
Yeah, plus, we got to get out of there.
Yeah, gotta get out of there.
Yeah.
We hit the Federal Building, which is in Westwood. Amazing energy. Tons of people. Then we go over to Beverly Hills and walk with a group to Century City. That was awesome. Then we get to West Hollywood, and it is bananas. Bananas.
And
And
what
this is
streets in West Hollywood?
like Santa Monica and La Cienega.
Got it.
And what I realized is happening is we were always talking last week. We were talking about how do you market this, right? Like if you really think about it, MAGA's just marketed really, really well.
Yep.
This movement just became cool. It just gave a bunch of young people a lot of purpose.
Yeah.
When I go to these protests, and I went to whatever the 3-4 locations, and then in front of my house, I go out and sit and watch every day. It's the cool kids.
Yep.
It's hot girls. It's
Madison Beer.
yeah. It's cool dressed people. Cool music, the energy is fun, and now everyone's friends. Everyone's together. People that probably would have never connected because they would have judged them for whatever reason, they're all together. And that's what the movement needed. It became like cool to care about what lives they're living.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's bad for MAGA is when protesting is cool and there's no Coachella.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you now, there's a meaning behind what's the cool place to be at.
Yeah.
That's how you be.
That's
MAGA.
the silver lining of the pandemic. That this happened.
Yeah,
like,
it is.
there's no chance we would have this kind of organization if there was not a pandemic with quarantine.
No chance.
So that's the silver lining if anyone wants to take away from all the devastation that's happened in the last 90 days. And I think 2 things are really important. One, this weekend, which I think was very different than last weekend, was there were multiple areas of speeches educating the crowd.
Yeah.
So like the Michael B. Jordan doing his speech.
Yep.
But you saw that all over.
Yep.
And that's just as important as protesting because a lot of younger people are protesting because they feel like they understand it, but you actually have to hear from the people that are affected.
Yep.
And
Plus, I saw like people singing outside of the White House. I saw yesterday going down Hollywood Boulevard was a truck rigged with speakers and they were playing Kendrick Lamar. Like you're right. Like it's starting to get a little deeper or there's more to it than just walking and whatever.
And the second thing is we have to take the L on this is we've shitted on Gen Z from the moment we've launched this podcast.
Yeah. Right.
And they've stepped up more than I could have ever imagined.
Yeah.
I apologize to all the young folks that are really stepping up.
I agree.
Right.
It's a really, really you know what the crowd is? It's older people, white and black, who have just seen they were probably protesting in the 60s and they're just still protesting.
Yep.
And then it's all young kids. Like I would say our demographic is quite light, like the 30, 40-year-olds. Like it's definitely not that crowd.
Yep.
There are obviously people.
But I think the 30 and 40-year-olds, because I can talk just for my own friends, they're researching how they can donate, how they can participate. So just because you're not in the protest doesn't mean you're not being helpful.
I agree. And I think that's one of the things that I think a lot of people are struggling with. There are so many ways to help here. Like protesting is what young people do because that's what their resource is. They have the time. Their resource is time, so they can go and do that stuff. So some people have money, use that resource. Some people have relationships. Some people have networks. Everyone can do something, and not everyone has to post. You shouldn't feel obligated to do it. You if you're gonna post, do it because you believe and that's the right thing to do. It'll affect change. But I think it's just everyone just should be active.
Yeah.
And its activity could be defined by many different ways.
I agree, but it feels good. I mean, even I noticed driving, I'm sure when I drive home, people are just honking and playing music and it doesn't feel, there's not one part of it, at least here, that feels dangerous or even hateful or
Oh yeah, I don't see it.
It's like the sudden realization of the country that we've all loved black culture our entire lives, whether it's music, sports. We've all taken from black people
yeah.
in our daily lives.
Yeah.
It goes from everything we do, morning till night.
Yeah.
And they're finally like, holy shit, I didn't really think about it differently.
Yeah, I
And
think when
that's
you
what's
look
cool.
back in 20 years, I honestly think this is going to be a way bigger moment than we realize. And I think that you'll really look at the fact that number one, black culture is cooler than ever. People are more like their favorite people they follow on TikTok are black. The favorite rappers, the favorite everything. They're just more like, I don't know, exposed to it, and that's who that's who young white kids' heroes are.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I was only influenced by black people.
But you were. I would say in that time you were the minority.
Okay.
Well, you know what I mean? Where now the majority.
Yeah.
Your favorite something is definitely a black person.
Yeah, because I remember being in junior high and high school, and there was a clear, you're a rap fan or a rock fan.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
And
it was like
country
Incubus
and-
versus Tupac.
Yeah.
It's like-
And didn't it feel like Tupac and that was more of a subset of like people who weren't black that really loved rap culture, whereas now it just feels like that is the rock star and the everyone?
I
Or
think
no?
in LA it was probably different because
Yeah.
Tupac was universal in LA.
True.
Maybe around, I can't speak to because we grew up
Yeah.
here, so I don't know.
Where
what
I
was
grew
it.
up, it was like country had a huge. You know,
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
were listening to Garth Brooks in my school.
Yeah,
And, like,
that never hit.
Yeah, I remember
Three
when,
Doors Down.
like the peak of Future, Anthony would say like he'd be in airports and white kids would have Gucci flip flops.
Yeah. Oh, all day. That's
Right?
Those are the only kids that go actually buy this shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I think that what I was going to say, I guess, is that mixed with you're 100% right. I think we'll look at when you coop people up for 3 months and all they've been doing is following their favorite rappers and stuff, and then you give them a reason to get outside and get active, and they're pissed and they're frustrated. Like, I think it'll be this perfect storm that will lead to this moment
Yeah.
that causes real change. Dee, I want to talk real quick about you posted I was thinking like for sure this has to be the thing that crumbles the stock market. Like sure everyone's out of work, no stores have been open for, no businesses have been open for 3 months. Definitely civil unrest.
Yep.
It's going to tank this thing. Looks like I couldn't have been more wrong.
Yeah.
What do we got?
So Fox News is like they're doubling down on let's not even talk about the Black Lives Matter movement. Let's just make it feel like it's looting and rioting. So I turn on Fox News every day this week because I want to see what they're saying.
Yep.
This is Saturday. They have this guy, I forgot his name, Matters, I don't know, whatever his show is. Looters, rioters, destroying America. That is what they're showing to millions of people. Then they start talking about the stock market, and they show the S&P 500 percentage change 1 week after event. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. The events they compared: MLK assassination, stock market up 2.9%. Rodney King case acquittal up 1.2%. Michael Brown death up 1.2%. George Floyd death up 3.4%. So what they wanted to show that, Black lives actually don't matter. Everyone,
It's so stupid. It's the fucking that's like the dumbest graphic I can.
but it works. It works because what it tells you is that civil unrest, all this protesting is for nothing. We're still going to make money.
That's what they're trying to say.
Yes.
Yeah. They're going to get fucked, man. I really believe, maybe I'm in my bubble, but like if you think...
But these people didn't know that there's a peaceful protest and that black people are being mistreated. Okay, so real
But that's what I'm
quickly,
saying. If you're that person, you're fucked.
what do you want to say, Taylor?
Well, just talking about Fox News.
Yes.
And these people. I was in Florida the past 3 weeks.
Where in Florida? Let's get specific.
In Tampa, Florida, but like an hour outside of Tampa towards like Alabama. So,
so
it's like
it's as red as it gets.
as redneck, like.
No, I didn't say
Florida.
redneck. Red as in
I'm saying
conservative.
redneck.
Okay,
Everything's
you're
red.
saying it.
I can say it. I'm white. I'm
The
not
nets
saying
are red. The
Yeah.
are red.
It's extremely conservative. All they listen to is Fox News 24/7, and they believe everything. So there's times when the news were on, and they're watching, and I overhear people like talking about it. And they're like, "These animals, what are they doing?" And like that's the way people talk in
And
Florida.
you were with. Tell the exact story.
Oh, well, I mean, there's one day I went golfing at a country club, and there's just like we were playing and we were golfing. It was me and my girlfriend golfing really slow, and there's a really nice black dude who like was playing behind us, and he played through, and we just talked for 5 minutes. Then after we're in like the place like what's it called?
Clubhouse.
Clubhouse. And it's just us and him in there. And we're just shooting the shit. He turns to us and he's like, how old are you guys? And we're just like talking. He's like, you guys don't understand racism. Like kind of like just like explaining it to us like a lot more, but it's super friendly conversation. The news is on. We're talking about that. Then these two white dudes walk in who just like look like, you know, they're trying to start a fight.
Yeah.
And they just come in and look at the news like, oh, what's wrong with these animals? I can't believe these animals are doing this.
Isn't
And
that-
it's only us 5 in the room.
And that's in a country club.
Yeah,
A private country club?
Not private.
Okay.
Like a public
Course.
golf course, not
Yeah,
a country club.
got it, yeah.
And I didn't break eye contact with the African American dude I was talking to because like if he's not going to say anything, I'm not going to say anything. But these white guys are just like, what's wrong with these animals? Just burning stuff down and like, obviously he didn't say anything because he didn't want to start a conflict. But that's real. And like that exists everywhere in Florida. And like I was joking with Dee, he's like, why'd you leave Florida? And I was like, it was too racist for me. Yeah. Like that's what people actually believe.
And for the record, that's not Florida. I mean, that's Florida, Georgia,
No,
everywhere
but it's-
around that, Ohio.
I mean, so I got married in 2016. Right after our wedding in Ojai, we spent a few nights at the Baccara in Santa Barbara. Election night.
Oh yeah, I remember you told us that.
Trump wins. So it start at around 6 p.m. It's pretty obvious Donald Trump's about to win. We're sitting in the lobby bar of the Baccara watching election results. There is like a conference or something going on, which a bunch of white guys in the bar, and they started to build that wall chant.
Yep.
This is Santa Barbara, a 5-star resort.
Yep.
It's not
Remember,
like-
remember at your wedding, like the night before,
Oh,
we were
yeah.
all drinking at the thing, and we almost got in a fight with
Yeah.
Trumpers.
That was at Ojai, right?
Yeah, Ojai Valley.
Yeah,
Inn.
there was a bunch of really just loud,
Yeah.
old white dudes.
Yeah.
And I forget now what even happened, but we almost
No,
got in a
so-
fight.
so
and your
it
friend
was-
took off his belt and was smacking.
So they both listen. That I don't need to out them because
No.
they were involved in the
I'm not
incident.
saying names.
But they are Indian, and I wasn't there. I'd already gone back to the room. But I'm convinced after the story was told, if you drama white guy wasn't there to tell the Ojai resort what was actually going on, they would have been the ones in trouble.
For sure. Yeah. For sure. That's for sure.
Because the other guy actually got arrested, I believe.
Did he?
I think he got detained or something.
Oh, yeah, something happened. Yeah, I don't remember. I don't fully remember. I just remember it was the same. It was that, and that must have been. So that was what 3 or 4 nights before election night.
Yep.
Yeah.
And these guys had a really nice,
Yeah.
you know, like
as
this
good
is
as it gets.
Tampa.
Yeah.
This is where, you know, and these guys, tried to start a fight with the brown guys.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm an ally, man.
We need you.
I'll step up.
So
Don't do that
you
around-
saved Anthony in Stockholm. You
Yeah.
saved my two friends.
Listen, yeah. Don't-
Take drama with you, right?
Not around me, guys. Yeah.
You got to take a white guy with you.
Yeah, maybe I should start a service. You know, I'm fun.
Yeah.
Fun to hang out with. And if anything gets out of hand or racist, I'll step in.
De-escalate any
I
situation.
will de-escalate any situation. I speak Ohio very fluently.
We can start an app for this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
this
like
is
it.
great.
Call it token.
Called Bring a White Dude.
Token. And
But
you,
like
you
that's-
pick a white guy. And you just
Yeah, you're like, oh, this one looks good.
Like when people want to talk
Tattoos.
about the systemic racism, it takes a white guy to explain to security, hey, the non-white guys weren't the problem.
Yeah.
Because if the brown guys try to explain that,
Oh, that is what happened.
it's over.
Yeah.
That is what happened.
And if this is what we have to do for change, I'm there.
I'll do it, man. Bring me along. Wherever you want to go. Tampa, Georgia, I'm there.
But I think what will change in the longer part of the conversation is that when you see black people in positions of power all over in your life, then you won't treat them differently when you see them at the Baccara or at Ojai Valley Inn, because you're like, oh, my boss is black.
But that's why I think that's why I think it's part of this change is the kids have.
Yeah.
Because of social media. So we do hate on Gen Z, especially for being on social media all day long. The one good thing about that is their social medias are blended.
Yeah.
If you're a racist trying to enjoy TikTok and Instagram, good luck.
Isn't every like TikTok dance a hip hop dance?
Yes.
Yeah.
All of TikTok is black dances with little white girls trying to do them.
Yeah.
And
It's like Courtney Cox and her daughter
Yes.
trying to do
That's
this.
what TikTok is. It's literally one big cultural appropriation made by Asians. So, yeah, I think that has, like, I do think that even by way of the internet, young people aren't scared of black people. It's not like that's who they want to be. It's cool. So you're seeing that change. Okay. Do you want to try to speed through some?
Yeah, we'll do some quick news.
Okay, so quick news. Jeff Bezos, you know, once again, you need these little wins. You just need people to say where they stand. And I will give it up to, the Black Lives Matter movement and all that, they made that clear from the beginning. Silence is no longer okay.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos had a banner on top of Amazon that said Black Lives Matter, just a nice little statement. Somebody, I'm sure a lot of people did, but looks like a Karen, wrote him and said, this is ridiculous. You're going to lose my business. All lives matter, blah, blah, blah. Jeff wrote a response and posted it, essentially saying, listen, you just have this wrong, unfortunately. We're talking about Black Lives Mattering because they're the ones in crisis. My stance here is not going to change. Hope to keep your business. If not, all good.
He's the richest man in the world. He's
the
made
world.
this statement. Richest man in the world. Did it. Roger Goodell did it. It's time for everyone else to give it up. Jeff Bezos said, go shop somewhere else. Guess what? Oh, you can't shop anywhere else.
I know
You have
that's actually the way to get sustained change. You don't think Black Lives Matter, your Amazon account's deactivated.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's start now. Let's take a survey.
Yeah.
Who wants to get canceled from their little Prime membership?
I don't think anyone wants to lose their Prime.
No one. So say it.
Yeah. They should make every Prime member do a video on your Instagram. If you don't do it, you're canceled.
Yeah.
That's change.
Yeah.
I mean, I just
Like all these Karens are just like,
I need toilet paper. Oh my God. I just, man, like, this is something, once again, take a quick break for 1 second and just, it's the richest man, like, documented in history ever.
And the most important company in the world.
Yes. Just saying it and putting the banner on your home screen. That is like, that's more impressions than if every Walmart flew a Black Lives Matter flag. Like, this is a real fucking moment.
Yeah.
And for him to just straight up say it and do something, what I love is not your corpo shitty statement.
No.
You screenshotted like the notes on your
Yeah.
phone of like, I'm sorry, Karen, but here's how I feel.
Yeah.
It just felt like, you know what, Jeff actually believes this. They didn't do that because somebody told him it was good for PR.
Yeah.
And someone tweeted this, so I don't want to take this as my take. They're like, how impressive it is that he can sound so thoughtful in one screenshot.
yeah.
That's why he's the richest man in the world.
That's
man.
why he is who he is.
Yeah, he could probably
That
sell
10
you
a.m. thing may have some legs to it.
Yeah. In that one screenshot, he could probably tell you how we're going to get to the moon or how we're going to get to Mars, how to end racism. He's a genius.
Yeah, no, I think that was a powerful moment. It just shows this thing is happening.
Yeah.
Get on the train.
Get the fuck on the train, man.
Yeah.
That's my whole point. Is like,
Yeah.
if you're still fighting this shit and
Yeah.
you don't see you've lost, you're fucked.
Yeah. And but by the way, on a sidebar I think this account is doing some amazing things. I started following an account called Keeping Up with the Karens.
Wow. I mean, what a name.
Best account now on
Okay,
Instagram.
but it's an acronym. It's KUTWK whatever.
Yeah.
Karen. They are literally posting every Karen, and they're calling it Guys Kyle or Carl, I think, meltdowns of, dude, these people are losing their mind.
Yeah. I saw one of a guy yelling at little girls at a pool and was like screaming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Like
what?
literally, these people are losing their mind. This account is calling everyone out, and then they go find out where they work, and then they go tag their work. And
Oh my
like,
gosh.
It's amazing stuff. You should
It's-
check this
It's
account.
keeping up with the Karens.
Keeping up with the Karens.
I just found it. One of the posts is, you want to know what Karens eat? And it's a box of Special K.
Oh my God. I mean, I'll say this. I was never a fan of cancel culture, any of that stuff. Right now, in this brief window in time, I feel like we're hitting the mark.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're going to cancel anyone, cancel fucking Karen for what she did last weekend.
Why?
Not like
10 years
Courtney
ago.
Cox for what she did 15 years, whatever
Yeah.
the fuck.
I
Let's get
agree.
these Karens.
This is all happening right now. These are videos that are today from Bakersfield. These women just screaming, and then they find out that she's a teacher and like her life's. I mean, like you can't act like this.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's a Karen reenacting the George Floyd choking on her son, and they found it, and they're like exposing where their business is and trying to tell people not to
yeah.
go there.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well,
Man, this is
I mean,
scary.
This
This is actually really scary. This
Yeah.
account.
I mean, if you use the internet in this way, it could be very effective. Because there's Karens definitely losing jobs.
Oh yeah.
I just don't get, why do you have so much anger? When you see the way these people scream, and
Yeah.
people, like it's like unfiltered, I hate my life scream.
Why? I mean, what is like
What's so bad?
And by the way, when you see a camera, You continue to scream?
They don't get it. They don't understand what that camera can do yet.
Yeah.
I think now they do.
Well, they're starting to.
Even the pool guy's like, no, why don't you just stop recording that? You quit doing
Yeah,
that.
they think
And
it's
they're
for
like,
a
no.
whole movie. They
They
don't realize.
it's going to be.
Is that going to VCR or what does that do?
Yeah, exactly. They'll put that on Blu-ray.
It's so much worse than a news camera.
Yeah.
It's way
Because
worse.
nobody
so
watches
raw.
the news in the
No.
grand scheme of things. A Karen video goes viral, 40 million people see it. It's like the Super
And it's
Bowl.
unfiltered. It's not edited. It's not touched. You're fucked.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're making progress. More progress too. Speaking of peaceful protesting, it looks like the National Guard is pulling out of LA.
I just drove, driving down Sunset has been blocked off by National Guard. They are now gone. All my whole route to get down here, I would see National Guard on Melrose, National Guard on Sunset, Crescent Heights.
Yep.
They're all gone now.
It's kind of scary. Like the other day, I turned down a side road to get home, and it was just Humvees and troops out of their car, and I was like, "Whoa!" Like I just felt like
When I'm running on the street training for this half marathon, and
Yeah.
I'll just be like, "Oh my god, there's 5 guys with machine guns
it just
behind
feels
me," and then
crazy.
they're like, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm like, "Pretty good." Like, it's got to be hot in there, right? I mean, it's like blistering hot.
trying to make small talk with a Marine.
How you guys doing? Yeah, we're doing pretty good. I'm like,
Can you
"Okay."
imagine you went into the army to like serve this bigger purpose and they're like, go protect the Supreme
But
Store?
isn't National Guard regular people?
Yes,
No, it's
they're-
ex-service.
But I think anyone can't like
Yeah,
if
they're
you go
mostly-
get training, you could
they're
be a National
mostly
Guard
volunteer.
reserve.
I think you can, but I do think to Anand's point, a lot are. And imagine also if you're a black guy, that more is on the side of, or any race, but really, like I've seen some videos of black guys like chanting with the protesters under their voice, under their mask. But imagine if you do that, and now you're guarding the Supreme Store against like.
Literally, there was
Horrible
guards
kids.
on Supreme Store. I'm not even joking.
Yeah.
There were 2 guys in machine guns in front of the Supreme
Let's dig
Store.
a little deeper. Who owns Supreme now?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Carlisle.
Yes.
bomb
Who,
maker.
who is Carlisle? It's all defense. Like
They own
contractors.
those Humvees.
Yes.
Those are Supreme Hummers. Oh man. Okay. Well, so good news. We're making progress.
Yep.
Or the National Guard never need to be there in the first place.
Never once. Like never even. There was never a moment when it was like, gosh, they really toned things down.
Yep.
Okay, a little bit of Corona news. The Senate looks like they're working on new. You know, how do you add more financial aid for everyone? And looks like they're. I mean, proposing. Do you think we'll get there? What's like? Where are we at with that?
The Democratic senators are proposing a very aggressive stimulus. So I'm going to combine a couple other topics. There was a jobs report that came out Friday that said 2.3 million jobs were added. Unemployment went down to 13%. The Bureau of Labor Statistics has come out and said, we made a mistake. The way we did this, we miscalculated it incorrectly.
And the stock market
stock
was up
market
800
exploded.
points.
They said they made a mistake. And despite that, they said it during market hours, they made a mistake. Stock market didn't get, so everyone, Trump obviously came out and said, jobs are back, jobs are back. They said they qualified 2.3 million people or 2.5 million people as having jobs when they're actually unemployed. So it was
No
a
one
mistake.
cares.
It was a complete mistake.
No one cares. Stock market up.
Stock market up. So the Senate, I think everyone realizes there's going to be an unemployment problem for the foreseeable future. There are some jobs that are going to come back very, very quickly. You know, you see restaurants opening, but like at restaurants, it's 60%, 70% capacity. You're not hiring everyone back. You know, offices are still not open. Like, so we don't know what the economy looks like. A lot of people are still living off that first set of stimulus they got. Companies got PPP, and now that money's gone. So now it's like the whole job number is very shady. And they even came out and said that there's no way that the White House had influence over it. These guys just fucked up. The Bureau of Labor Statistics just made a mistake. And so
It's the least shocking thing.
I mean, but when you look at the stock market,
Yeah.
it fucking exploded.
exploded because of that data. That said the recovery's quick. And the thing is everyone chose to ignore that it was incorrect and just continue on with their day. And the problem is we know that like all these jobs are being propped up by PPP. Hopefully the economy reopens and everything does, there's some sense of normalcy, but we know there's going to take some time. The Senate knows there's going to take some time. So that's why they're proposing this new stimulus check, which is up to $10,000 for a family who makes less than 100 grand. So it calls for sending $2,000 per month to individuals and $4,000 to couples, as well as $2,000 per child up to 3 children. So if you have 3 kids and your combined income comes under 120,000, you're eligible for this.
I know some people that'll really help, and I know other people that will probably never want to get a job again.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if this is the Democrats proposing it, so it's not going to. Yeah, I don't know if the Republicans want to pass another stimulus bill because I don't think they think. I actually think they think everything is fine.
That's the problem. Because of the stock market, everyone's being fooled that the economy's fine, and it's a big problem because everything's still closed.
Yeah, and I think someone asked Trump, like, what about everything going on in the country? And he said the stock market cures all that.
Yeah.
Like, that's really the attitude.
Yeah, and that's why the S&P likes, the Fox News shows the graphic, George Floyd death, way up stock market.
Yeah. Did he really say that George Floyd would be happy about the job numbers?
Yes, I think so. He made a reference to it exactly.
Yeah, I wanted to be careful because I didn't read the exact statement.
Yeah.
But it seemed like...
It was in reference to a larger tweet he did, but yes, that's what it felt like.
Got it. Okay. So, I mean...
You know how many people created a Robinhood account 60 days ago and they only know the stock market goes up every single day?
Oh, yeah.
Skyrockets everything.
Can I tell you what?
I mean, these TikTok investors, man, are rich right now.
I know. I feel like such an idiot.
Yeah. Dave Portnoy.
TikTokers outsmarted me.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what Dave Portnoy tweeted.
Yeah.
This tweet is unbelievable.
So good.
He goes, a lot of people are asking me. This is so funny. A lot of people are asking me if airlines and cruises will go up tomorrow. My answer is see tenant number 1 of the Davy Day Trader, whatever his thing is, playbook. Number 1, stocks only go up. Number 2, when in doubt whether to buy or sell, see rule number 1.
That was a tweet or what? Oh my God.
And he just tweeted out whatever, some $1 million list here is.
I really it's just like the arrogance of our country was reflected in the stock market.
Yeah.
Like the coronavirus is never going to affect us.
It's literally like you're willing the stock market up.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with reality. It's just that you don't want it to be down.
No. I was literally, I follow maybe 75 companies. I would look through all of them on charts and I was like, oh my God, so many. 50% are at 52-week highs. The other 50% are businesses that have been dramatically impacted and are maybe 30% off a high.
So would you say then if maybe the whole thing is the stock market really reflects the confidence, let's say, of the
future,
the country, of the future. Is it really the confidence of like 20 rich people?
It's the confidence of public fund managers.
Because everyday man and woman aren't very confident right now.
No way.
So it's
but the people in charge.
It's not the confidence. What the Fed has done is made every asset class uninvestable, but the stock market. So they backdoored all the institutions. If you have capital, the only way you can deploy it at scale is the equity markets. That's really what's going on.
All right, well,
but like the Robinhood TikToker thinks he's a genius.
Genius.
Yeah.
I just have to believe this leads to some way bigger. Anything I've ever known about life is the longer you hide the secret, the bigger the end catastrophe gets.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just this one no one can explain. This one's just nuts.
Don't you think that one day it has to level? One day there has to be a day where Anand sits here and says, this made sense. Or no, or does there never?
I follow Davey Day Trader.
What the Fed has done is basically done unprecedented actions to literally singularly focus on the stock market, which they did because they wanted to create the confidence in the country that this devastating virus isn't going to devastate their retirement accounts and their wealth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's almost like a psychology experiment that the Fed did with the country because the data doesn't support any of these stock prices.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see what happens. There'll be a lot to talk about. Good time for group chat. Colin Powell is saying in no way can he see voting for Trump in 2020.
Yeah, so I think a lot of people have turned on Trump this weekend. Obviously, Drew Brees, Roger Goodell, Colin Powell came out in all the morning shows. Mitt Romney, who always never really liked him and was kind of like, he was always kicked around by Trump. But now you're seeing a tide of like Republicans.
Even Jeb Bush.
Yeah, I mean like the
George W. Bush.
Yeah, so there's a lot of.
They're like making statements.
Yeah, they all don't like him to begin with, but they were under his power because of the movement. But now it's in vogue to go against Trump.
That's cool.
So you're seeing the mood really shift, away from him. Like I think people are now comfortable to speak out against him.
I'll
Before
tell you
they
what,
wouldn't.
I said it before, and even more now. Like, I wonder what happens to that subset that is ride or die Trump, and in 2021 is going to feel like he has more enemies than ever.
Yeah.
Like, do you just go back into hiding, or is there this weird new group led by Trump post presidency that's just ultra racist and crazy?
Yeah, I think they're not going away, and I think it's still like it could still. When you really boil down the numbers, is it still probably 75 million people
For what?
that are just diehard Trump doer? Is it like
It's probably 60 million.
yeah? So
It's a
not
shit
far
ton.
off.
Yeah, that's a lot.
that's a lot of people.
And they're
That's-
passionate. And those people blindly trust Fox News or what
Yeah.
Trump says.
Yeah.
No care for anything else.
Yeah.
And have no interest in changing and love guns.
Yeah,
Not a good combo.
no.
Scary, man. I feel like there'll be some areas that will be scary to go to.
Oh yeah, you just have to leave certain parts.
You
of the
see
country.
red hats. Like it's like the new
Yeah,
like hood, like going through the hood. It's like that part of Alabama you just don't go to.
yeah.
I'm sure Taylor can report from those areas.
Yeah, Tampa. That clubhouse in Tampa, man.
Well, I was like talking to my mom about coronavirus, and I was like saying, I just don't know if it's like really as real as everyone thought. And then I started realizing like everything I was talking about, like I was becoming extremely conservative with my thoughts. It's impossible not to.
We talked about that. Did you hear us making fun of you?
No.
We said that you were turning.
Oh yeah, no, I heard that one. Yeah, turning
yeah.
into a Florida man. But
Yeah.
it actually was because all you see is Fox News. All you hear is everyone talking about it, and when like I
He-
just kind of went along with it. And I was like,
You look
wait,
like you're still in it.
I still am. Doesn't matter. I don't have to dress well. I'm white.
Oh my god! See,
There's the problem.
That's
Taylor
like
just summed everything up in one sentence.
there's a TikTok meme. I don't know if you've seen this or a TikTok trend where you say like 1 day after watching Training Day, 3 days after watching and your voice changes.
Yeah, 1 day
You're
after
literally
Florida.
like, here's one week
Actually,
after
though,
Florida.
it's insane, but it's
Yeah.
impossible not to get wrapped up in it. So I understand how people get wrapped up in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get brainwashed, and if you don't get exposed, and then we know the algorithm is so strong in social media that just shows you that what you need.
Oh, my TikTok feed
Yeah.
was all conservative stuff.
No
That's
way.
what I knew was an issue. 'Cause
Yeah.
I kept seeing all these like things I didn't agree with, and I was like, when I got back to LA, I was just like, what am I watching?
Yes, TikTok got me, man. TikTok algorithm is so good. I watched one Candace Owens video all the way through, which she's a fucking psycho, by the way.
Psycho.
Her stance on this is like you just went way too far.
And
Yeah, yeah.
also the number one trending topic on Facebook.
Yeah.
So, arbiter of truth, Zuck.
Because like her stance is like, oh, George Floyd was a drug addict, and this
Yeah.
person was blah. This is what they don't tell you, and like it misses the whole point.
Yeah.
But the point is, watch one video all the way through. My TikTok feed looks like fucking Ivanka Trump's right now. Like it is nothing but conservative hype house and Trump this, and it is wild.
Wow.
The Chinese are good.
Chinese are good. So now what you have to do to fight the algorithm is like anytime one comes up, you have to skip fast.
Yeah, yeah.
And then literally anything like more what I'm
Yeah,
into,
yeah,
you
gotta
have to watch
the
it
whole
like 3
thing.
times.
Yeah.
And it changes the
You just got to
algorithm.
go to like a bunch of black people's TikToks and make
Yes,
sure you
and just watch a few. Speaking of Ivanka, she has a problem with cancel culture.
Yeah, she got canceled
but
to speak at the graduation.
just like rewind to the TikTok stuff.
Yeah.
It's a Chinese company. They can absolutely influence anything that's going on in the country.
yeah,
I mean,
Think about, we're worried about
severely.
Zuck.
Yeah,
What about China?
totally.
yeah.
Totally. China. You almost did.
What about China?
You were on the border.
What about China?
You were on the border.
What about the China
we're-
apps?
What about the China?
China apps?
No, but that's a real problem. We're worried
It's a
about
very real problem.
homegrown companies.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
the biggest sensation of the country in the last 12 months
Yeah.
is a Chinese company with Chinese executives.
Yeah, China, we get it. But that's what's I think the problem is gonna be our own dude, Zucks, is gonna master it. And before we can even understand it and crack down on him, a whole another country is gonna have it better. And you're just going to like, you should have caught it while you had it.
TikTok's algorithm is better than Facebook. It's like not even close.
Way better.
Yeah.
Their A/B inputs are like way more intense than what Facebook has or Instagram has.
It's way better. And damn it works so, because you just get sucked in. You just go down a rabbit hole of your worst instinct.
Yeah, because they saw you went through a full How long was the video?
20 seconds?
Right. And probably typically you're skipping over a video in 5 to 8 seconds. They're like, oh, this racist.
Like, we got him. We knew it.
You're racist. Let me show you these 3 girls.
Yes. And then literally you think that you're just, I think the thing that's a little bit of a mindfuck is you think you're just looking at the popular page that is preset, that has nothing to do with you. Like this is everyone. And so in 5 minutes, you can get the feeling that everyone thinks the George Floyd thing is a conspiracy.
Yeah.
That's another big thing. There's deep conspiracy theories on TikTok about how like the paramedics were cops and they had bulletproof vests and the license plate doesn't match and the diesel fuel sign in the background said 99 cents even though diesel fuel is 189. Like the wildest shit, but now it's my whole TikTok.
TikTok needs to publish a report on how racist you are.
I mean, if Taylor was passively radicalized in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, imagine when you
Your whole
have
life.
like an algorithm that's actively trying to radicalize you.
Yeah, and just imagine you live in Tampa, your parents are a little racist, you don't even know it, like passively racist. Your TikTok starts to get full of Candace Owens.
Yeah.
Of course you're a fucking racist. Of course you think all these people are crazy and everyone's rioting and looting.
Yeah.
That takes 3 days.
Yeah. 3 days, you're completely.
Literally, be adopted by a family in Florida and sign up for TikTok. In 3 days, you'll be a racist.
I fought hard. I made it like 7.
Thank God you got out, man.
I had to.
You like escaped from a freaking Taliban prison.
Actually, though.
Yeah.
I was telling my mom, I was like, coronavirus, I don't know if it exists.
Yeah.
She's like, you got to get out of there.
I will say that I'm starting to get a little skeptical, too.
I mean, if the biggest test will be.
Wait, which part?
I'm just saying, if this week, shut up, China. If this week, all we hear, if we don't hear that just everyone has coronavirus, then the fact that I was scared to be in an elevator 2 weeks ago, and literally every day is a new Coachella down Sunset Boulevard, and no one has it.
Yeah.
It's fucking. This is crazy.
I'm with drama on this one.
No, so I actually think you guys got to think a little deeper on it.
Tell me.
So, all of these are happening outdoors.
Within
No,
6
but they
feet,
are
though,
on
everyone's on top of
each other.
And it's young people.
Wearing masks.
For a lot of people wearing masks.
Yeah.
We're not indoor in concerts, indoor in restaurants, slammed in clubs, in bars. That's where the transmission's happening.
Okay, so then my point is, why was fucking Runyon Canyon closed?
Because we have dumb officials.
There we go. So even if that's...
So we overcorrected. There was no reason to do what we did for this long. We needed to do what we did for 2 weeks to understand how the virus worked. We should have figured it out in 2 weeks to actually start making moderate restrictions lifted.
that I'll accept. I will accept that 80% of what we did was an overcorrection.
Yeah.
Without having to say that coronavirus is fake, because we know people who have had it. It's obviously not fake, but like, it just is crazy to me that we went from being scared shitless of even like Dee running down the street and someone has to completely sprint across the road to get away from him. And then the following week, there's young people screaming. They're all yelling. They're all just droplets are fucking everywhere in that group. If it doesn't pop up all over the place, I just feel like...
But I maintain we'll never see the spikes we saw in March.
Yeah.
Because society's changed.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah, I mean, I think there was I went to all those rallies. Every single person was wearing a mask. This one lady was handing out face shields, so I put on a face shield. Then I felt real confident. Oh, face shield, I have a mask on.
Screaming.
I'm like, no justice, no peace. And I just
spit all over your face.
We need to send Taylor to a few rallies. Get him back on our side.
That's what I did right when I got back. First, I was a little uneasy, and then I got full into it.
Yeah, I'd love to see like one of those shitty reality shows about that. Like, how much can you fuck with?
Yeah.
Like, how much can you take a, slightly racist, maybe leaning conservative and turn him
liberal?
How long does it take for him to be at a march?
3
and then
days?
How long can you take someone at a march and get him to start,
I
crossing?
feel like it's easier to be
propaganda.
racist than to be more open-minded.
It's easier to?
No, meaning like I think it's easier to radicalize someone to be racist than to
'cause
take the
fear-
racist.
Yeah.
of
Because fear is like your greatest.
Yeah.
And look at history. I mean, over time, just all the propaganda. This is what it is with Hitler and just what people have done over time with propaganda.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love a good brainwashing show on Netflix.
Yeah. It's
know?
a great idea.
Okay, so there's, from what I understand, there's a place in Maine that manufactures coronavirus test swabs. Trump is all about it. Look at our production. Tests are out through the roof. Better than any other country. He goes and visits. The owner of the facility now is saying that he's going to have to trash all of the swabs that were currently in production because Trump didn't wear a mask and he can't take the risk of even potentially, I mean, obviously those places have very strict rules. Can't take the risk of anything being contaminated.
Yeah.
So dipshit in charge is just so insistent
Yeah.
on, I will not wear a mask, whatever. It's just funny to me. Like, I think what's happening through all this is like your message, you're so strong and confident in your message, but you're just leaving a trail of like stupid and people cleaning up your mess.
Yeah. Like, let's just assume the guy who ran this company, Puritan Medical Products, is a conservative, votes for Donald Trump. He has a president come. He's excited. He show his work as the president. It's made in USA. President's excited. This fucker won't wear a mask. And because he won't wear a mask, he has to trash all of the production for a day of swab tests. That's insane.
And that they like told him, like, hey, please
Yeah.
wear a mask. Nope, won't do it.
Yeah.
Just will not do it.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
I don't even have a comment. It's just so stupid. Just move on.
I mean, also think about the visual. This is what I was thinking the other day. Think about the visual that Donald Trump is, in close timing of each other, was in a bunker hiding under the White House, who had its lights turned off, and is currently building a higher wall around it to protect you from your own citizens.
Yes.
That is where we're at.
Yep.
Which has never before in the history of America happened.
Coward.
It's so like, okay. Now I'm wondering, does Lady Gaga have a new album coming out?
Poker face.
Because I saw a trending topic, Lady G, and I'm like, oh, perfect time. Lady Gaga's always been very outspoken.
Yes.
Definitely equal rights, all those things, and she must have a new album.
Yeah.
I then saw it took me to some government, Lindsey Graham. I don't understand. Can you explain?
Senator Lindsey Graham, which is a man, for those that don't know who that is, apparently he's a very powerful senator.
And a Trump loyalist.
Trump loyalist. He has repeatedly voted against LGBTQ legislation. He's a piece of shit for equal rights. He is being accused by someone that he is a big user of male prostitutes in the DC circuit. And his nickname amongst the sex workers are Lady G.
I mean,
Is Lady G. So there's a person that came out and tweeted and said, use initials LG, a very powerful senator. That's the only senator with the initials
yeah, I
LG.
mean, you got to do a little better.
Yeah. And says, will anyone stand with me? All the lawyers in the world came out of nowhere and said, we'll represent you pro bono. We want this case to be exposed. So we're going to have to see what happens here. I mean, these are all accusations, but it's gotten people like, especially very powerful people in the LGBTQ community who know this person's been doing damage to their movement for so long. Let's expose him. Like, he was getting male prostitutes.
I mean, expose him. There's obviously proof. If you don't follow through with this and there's not proof, it is one of the biggest missed opportunities. Because I also think, like, you got to show that so many of these like racist and anti-LGBT and whatever, like
They're hypocrites.
they're hypocrites. They're the darkest.
Yeah.
With the most demons. And it's
Yeah.
like you hate yourself, so you're taking that out on the country. I don't know the psychology behind
Yeah.
it. But like fucking just come on, Lady G. Strap on a dress and be you, man. Like no one's mad at you.
Show up to the White House in a new sundress.
Yeah, let's
It's
see if Donald
2020.
Trump embraces you.
Yes. I mean, it's 2020, man. If Lady G threw on a sundress and hit up one of those marches,
Yeah.
make real change.
Yes.
Jesus. I mean, I hate to, especially because we're taking the angle of, journalists, I guess, here. I hate to jump to just believing accusations, but my instincts would say probably true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I normally don't address these types of things when I pick topics because I don't want it to be like these off, but like, fuck him. He was getting.
He's a bad guy.
This is so common. I mean, this has happened so many times with all
Yeah.
these lawmakers and stuff secretly being gay or secretly
Yeah.
whatever, and you're like the most outspoken person.
Yeah.
Can we got to ask Belinsky or someone that this lawsuit thing with Epstein and Trump, where there was a settlement, is that real?
So it's a document showing that Donald Trump paid 3 kids millions of dollars in settlements because they had accused him of rape.
And that's real.
Kids.
That document is real.
Kids.
3
million, 5 million, 2
China.
million. This is
I want to hear you say that one loud and clear.
so, and everyone, I've asked people, obviously I'm not talking to a FBI person, but I've asked everyone, is this real? Is this real? And everyone says the docs are real. The docs are real. For whatever reason, no one's talking about it. I don't know why. Maybe it's not verified yet. But this is the reason why Trump does not want to show his tax returns, because his tax returns will show that he paid people accusing him for settlements.
Man, I mean, if this doesn't come out,
Yeah.
like this is a massive fucking story.
Yeah. I'm sure there's reporters that are verifying that it's all real.
What's amazing is his base still won't care.
No, they won't care. But I do think it will
Because some of those people would fuck their daughter.
probably have.
Holy.
Yeah.
It will help. You know, like I do officially think Trump won't get reelected. I just switched as of the last week.
Yeah.
And I think we need all the steam we can get on that train.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're talking about Jeffrey Epstein. This is the biggest story.
Yeah.
There's like stories, there's things in there accusing of like, because he got mad because Jeffrey Epstein took one of the girls' virginities and he wanted to, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Or, like it's real
The
bad.
Netflix documentary is dark.
It's real dark.
I honestly couldn't even get through the first episode. It's like these little kids.
That's what the podcast, I will say so far, I'm like episode 3 or 4. The podcast was actually better. It's just that with the
When
Netflix,
you see
get to
these,
see that,
you see the kids, you're just like heartbroken.
Yeah.
Like this is what's going on.
I listened to the entire podcast, but the second that I saw the faces, I literally turned it off.
But you're
'cause I couldn't
telling
do
me
it.
that our president was there and also partaking?
Yeah.
And that's not what we're talking about?
Yeah.
This better be next in line after all the protests.
This better-
Like,
Yeah.
they better just have it in the queue and be like, you know what, let's give this the proper
Attention.
it deserves, and then we'll shoot this rocket out.
Yeah, I mean, this is insane.
Okay. Do we have a millennial word or no? I don't want to hear it from you. It might be a racist term.
Racist word of the week.
It's starts with N.
Yeah, real big in Florida circles.
I just learned it last week. It's my new favorite.
Okay, that's it. Make sure you hit up our website, Melrose Street Journal. Subscribe to our newsletter. Hit us up on Instagram at Group Chat Pod. Be on the lookout for Dee's post about their. Remind me what you're calling it.
Next up.
Next up. Anything else we're missing? Behind closed doors, still going?
Yes, we'll be coming out today with an episode.
Now's just not the time, but I'm still, making sure I stay on you getting obliterated.
Oh yeah, I know. A lot of people have asked me about it.
Yeah.
Like, so when's this thing gonna go down? I said,
Yeah.
Give us some
We'll get
time.
back to it.
Yeah. In the right time. But,
You guys, if Taylor moves to Florida, it could be behind racist doors.
Oh, you could be a spy.
Underground.
Yeah, you could be a spy. Okay, is that it? Did I miss any call outs or anything? Oh, do we have we had a note about a shout out.
Yes. What's the shout out, Tim?
Oh no, not Tim.
Tim.
Well, Merry Christmas to.
Interesting on the shout out, because he did read it to me beforehand. The person who asked for the shout out didn't give their name or their girlfriend's name. So we're shouting you out. Based on your handle, what's the handle?
Oh, domore.jm.
Domore.jm.
That's funny. It says domore.jm's girlfriend.
Graduating from Baruch College.
Oh, that's good.
Baruch?
Okay.
Baruch?
Well,
Was
hey,
it broke?
hey,
Broca?
do more. This is my
Brochet?
advice. Take your own advice and do a little more.
Yeah, give us the names.
Give a little information.
Was it a
man.
and what was it? A shout out just for a shout out or for
No,
like
for
happy
graduating
birthday?
college.
Graduation.
Graduating college. Got
Yeah.
it.
I mean, talk about doing less. Jeez. Okay. Well, there we go. Is that it?
The documentary, is it the 13th on Netflix?
13th, yeah.
Really great one. Everybody
Yeah.
should go watch it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's really good.
it's amazing.
Okay. Well, listen, stay active. Stay focused. Make sure you break out of, those racist ties you may or may not have. Make sure you say something. You know what I mean? Roger Goodell did it. You can do it.
If Roger Goodell can do it, everyone should go make a video.
Everyone can do it.
I mean, if you
Post
have
it.
5 followers or 5 million.
And even though it's time to absolutely press the gas and go harder than ever, we had some big wins in the last week, and I think it's
Yeah.
good to see that this is all working. That's it. Thank you. See you Wednesday.